In this video, we're going to be answering one of the biggest questions I get from a lot of guys out there, which is how can I become a more dominant man? In this video, I'm going to clear this up. I'm going to give you some straightforward, practical advice that you can use to become a more dominant man. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to build the physique that you want, get the girls that you want, and go from the victim mindset to what I call the bulldog mindset. If that's something that interests you, click that subscribe button and join us on our journey here. I think that a lot of guys don't understand what dominance is, and they try to dominate other people by force, which is actually the opposite. It actually shows a great deal of weakness. The more force that you have to apply in order to get someone to essentially obey your will or do your bidding, the weaker that you are generally. It's a weaker move. It's just like showing anger, right? And anger is in fact a way that a lot of people try to express dominance, but really what it is it's a frustration. When you're angry, it's because an expectation hasn't happened that you had in the world, and so it's actually showing your inability. It's the opposite of dominant. A lot of men are afraid to be dominant because they're afraid to express themselves in what they want, and they're afraid of imposing on people, which is all things that we're going to address here. Okay, guys, so let's start off by talking about the first thing that you can do to be more dominant, which is first to dominate yourself. You're not going to dominate anyone else. You're not going to be dominant in general if you cannot control your own desires, if you cannot control your own self. Okay, to be truly dominant is to be able to exercise your own will. Okay, and to be able to exercise your own will, the first place to start is yourself. If you are lazy, okay, if you procrastinate, if you don't have any self-discipline, if you can't get to the gym, if you can't, do the workouts that you're supposed to do or do the work that you're supposed to do, if you can't control your own emotions, okay, you're not going to be very dominant because you're basically going to be emotional. You're going to be controlled by other people. If someone can rouse you to anger very easily, okay, they're dominating you, okay? Life is dominating you. So first of all, you've got to get self-discipline. You've got to be able to dominate yourself. Next, say what you want and say what you mean, all right? This is one of those really big things when I'm coaching guys on becoming more masculine, okay, and being more dominant is I try to tell them you need to say exactly what it is that you want, okay, and what you mean. Stop beating around the bush, okay? Stop trying to be extra polite to people, okay? Stop trying to, come across as not wanting to offend people. Instead, say what you want. Don't be bashful about it. Say, I want this, okay? I want you to do this, all right? Again, like in the bedroom, I do this, right? You're giving a command. You're saying what you want, what you desire, and not beating around the bush. If you want to go to a restaurant, you want to eat somewhere, if you're like, hey, where should we go? You're making a decision. You're saying, I want to go here. I want to eat this. It doesn't mean that what you want always has to happen, okay? Don't be wrong. Don't misconstrue this, okay? Being dominant is not all about always getting your way, but it's about saying what it is that you want and saying what it is that you mean, not beating around the bush, not being afraid of who you are as a person, right? To be a very dominant person is someone who just says what they want. Stop trying to be polite. Okay, one of the biggest things that's screwing you up from being dominant as a man is being too damn polite. Fuck it. Sometimes you got to step on some toes. Sometimes you got to not worry what other people think. You got to not worry if you're coming across as brash or rude. It's not that you should try to come across that way, but if you're saying what you want, okay, and you're saying what you mean, you're gonna come across as impolite at times, and it's fine. It's okay if people are a little bit uncomfortable. It's okay if some people don't like you. It's okay if some people are not agreeing with you. Okay, you don't have to make everyone feel comfortable and happy all the time. It's good when you can do that, but it's more important to be true to yourself and to express yourself. And you're going to come across a lot more dominant when you don't care about being polite. Take charge and make decisions. Okay, if you want to be more dominant, one of the key things that you can do is to actually just take charge of a situation and make those decisions that need to be made. All right, if everyone's trying to decide where to eat, pick a restaurant, say, hey, I feel like eating some fish tacos. Let's go to this place. We're going to go there. Now, some people might argue and they might disagree. It's fine. okay? But you've at least taken charge. You've actually made a decision and have made something happen. Again, you're not necessarily being polite in this case, all right? But if someone else wants something, they can speak up. But typically, the more dominant person is going to be the person that just takes charge, that takes the reins, that sees that there's an issue, and they don't wait for someone else to come along and solve it. They don't wait for someone else to come to a consensus on that. They instead say, okay, here's a problem, I'm going to take charge of it, and I'm going to make some decisions, and we're going to go, 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 go. Okay, like I said, again, it doesn't mean that you always get what you want in your way. It just means that you're willing, in that vacuum of leadership, to take charge, to take that position, and by default, that's what you're going to do. Don't hide your ambition or desire, okay? If you want to be dominant, don't hide your ambition. You're an ambitious person. A dominant male is ambitious, okay? And you're going to have desire. A lot of times, if you hide that, you're going to come across as very weak. You're going to come across as submissive, because a lot of reasons why we hide our ambition or we hide our desire is because we don't want to offend people. We don't want to make people uncomfortable, okay? A very ambitious person, a person that has a great degree of desire, tends to make people uncomfortable at times, but you have to be okay with that. If you want to be dominant, if you want to be more dominant as a man, practice this. Practice expressing your desire. Practice allowing your ambition to come out, to be competitive, to be the kind of person that is willing to face conflict, to face challenges, to express exactly what it is that you want. Like I said, we talked about this earlier, but really, really important. Do not submit. Okay, this is another really important thing. If you're going to be dominant, you can't be submitting. Okay, you can't just let people take one, win one over on you all the time. It doesn't mean you have to fight for everything and be like combative and argumentative and non-agreeable all the time, but you can't be overly agreeable. You can't just submit just because someone says something or opposes you, right? A lot of guys, you see this today, where as soon as, especially when they're in a relationship with a woman, as soon as she says something that that disagrees with him, he just goes and lays over. He just submits instead of saying no. Instead of saying, no, I don't tolerate that, or no, I'm not going to do that. He just says yes, and he just does it, okay? And he just backs up, constantly backing up, constantly submitting. It's not very attractive. It's not very dominant. A lot of times women are going to test you to see what are you going to do when they disagree with you, when they say no. Are you just going to roll over? Right? If you're in a conversation with a woman that you just met, for instance, this happens all the time, and she says, oh yeah, I don't like this, and then you say, yeah, I don't like this either. You just agree with whatever the fuck she's saying. You're just submitting, okay? Or she makes some kind of insult or tells you something that you're doing wrong, and then you just agree with it. Fuck that. No, you've got to stand up for yourself, and you've got to say no. This is what I think, or this is what I believe, and to be unabashed about it, right? You may risk losing a relationship or pissing someone off, but that's fine. If you're dominant, you're not going to care, all right? And that's what you need to practice. Don't become emotional. Okay, you cannot be dominant if you're emotional. If other people are able to get to you, affect you, upset you, okay, make you angry, make you sad, make you cry, you're not going to be very dominant. A very dominant person is someone who has enough strength, enough force of their own will that they're not going to let emotions change that. All right, this is very much the core of Stoic philosophy. Something that I teach on this channel is being stoic, okay? Is being to the point where, regardless, you might feel something, but you're not going to let those feelings take a hold of you and change your actions, right? You're acting despite whatever the feeling is, okay? And so this is going to appear in a lot of interactions that you have with other men, okay, with women especially, because they're going to do shit, okay? They're going to say stuff. They're going to be bitchy. They're going to do things that are going to get to you, but you can't let it get to you. You can't go all emotional. You can't get all upset. You can't get all angry. Instead, you've got to be very focused and clear on what you want. Sometimes you have to walk away from situations. Okay, it doesn't mean that you don't feel emotions, but it means you don't let the emotions get the best of you and change your actions. Make eye contact. Dominant person makes eye contact, okay? Keep eye contact, strong eye contact. Again, it's one of those things that can make people feel uncomfortable and make you feel uncomfortable, but you have to be willing to do that, to be able to willing to be uncomfortable. That's one of the key things about being dominant. So you make very strong eye contact with people. And then finally, trust yourself, okay? This is just one of the key aspects of being more dominant, is that you have a level of trust, of confidence in your own competence, that you're going to take action. You're going to be able to make those decisions, okay? You're going to not be polite. You're going to express your desires. All of these things are basically packaged into the idea that you trust yourself. You trust your competency. You trust that you're capable. You trust your decision-making process, and you go with it, right? You're not looking for some other authority or someone else to help you out or someone else to tell you. You're basically bearing the responsibility and saying, look, you know what? I'm the one that's got to lead this tribe to safety. I'm the one that's got to make this shit happen tonight. No one else is going to do this. No one else is going to bail me out. I have trust in myself. And when you have that trust in yourself, when you believe that, you know, what you're doing is the right thing, okay, then other people are going to follow you, and that's really, you know, the key to dominance. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Click that thumbs up if you liked the video. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.